is important. When there's a great deal of conversation now about Metzitzah. Frankly, when I ran in 2005, when no one was talking about it, I was expressing concern the very first day that the city was trying to put a regulation in place. The fact is, and I said this to my colleagues who are also running for mayor, that I think the community wants a sense not that you're always going to get their way, but they're always going to have their say. They're always going to have an opportunity to make their voice heard, and that's one of the things that I've always tried to do, and it works both ways, because frankly, if I had not had that original meeting to hear about what was going on back in Munkatcher,
how many years ago was this?
This was.
Huh? How many years ago was the
When
meeting?
did you first introduce me to the Rebbe?
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
9 years. The time is running. 9 years. I'm sorry, Rabbi. 9 years ago.
Talk about Metzitzah, it's not the time. Like many issues. To us, it's not a concern, but if there's going to be a law, because we're going to have to do what we have to, no matter what. But the information which is built on is we found 12 cases of children which developed herpes. Now,
Worldwide.
now, what are we? Do you believe that all the people sitting here don't care about children? They were born with herpes, which is life danger? Is this what the Torah teaches us? Of course not. Make us look like we're some Taliban or something that just wild people that don't care about anything. If somebody studies the cases, you'll see that the 12 children we're talking about in a spread of 15 years, 6-7 countries, very poor evidence to supposedly in Canada and to in Israel and to here and the one they suspect. The beginning say 12 children looked through it. No basis for it. Because if there was a basis, the first people would be sitting to see what to do if become American. We don't let the kids desert it and get sick, God forbid. There's nobody to speak up for us. It becomes an issue, as if the issue which is in the plan now. I think there's much more. The last time, the history books will tell you, the last time Metzitzah was brought up, of course, was in Berlin, Germany. In the beginning, they started worrying for children getting herpes. In the end, you know what the end was. They weren't worried about the herpes anymore.
No, it was one for the life. What he wants for the lives.
Somebody looked into it. Of course, for us, the religious purpose is the main thing. It's our life, that's what we live for, that's what we die for. But as a factual thing itself, no evidence, no proof, no nothing. Just history repeating itself. We didn't expect it in the United States, but that's how it is.
Well, what I've said publicly is that it's the responsibility of government to walk with a very light touch when it deals with anything to do with religion, and particularly with a small minority group like we are, frankly. We sometimes look to our left, look to our right, we see black hats and kippot, and we think, okay, there's plenty of us, but in fact, we're a small minority.
Yes.
And that's the instance where government has to be the most careful. That the reason you need a democracy and a constitution is to protect people who aren't in the mainstream. The mainstream has their way of protecting themselves. It's called the ballot box, the majority rules. But when it comes to religious practice, I believe that it's our country's ideals, and particularly in New York, where we're so diverse, we have to be very respectful of the practices of a religion, and that goes for all. I believe it goes for all religions.
Is there a law that you can change it?
Well, it's a regulation by the Department of Health.
But it can be changed?
Certainly. No, certainly. A regulation by the Department of Health is an administrative act by the health department. There's no consent decree. There's no legal consent decree that it's under. There's not a state law that it's under. It's something that was done by
The
the
state
health
doesn't
department.
have that law.
The state doesn't have that
No.
law. I mean, they could. I mean, and when you're the mayor, you're constantly fighting to say to Albany, "You've got enough problems in Albany. Let us govern ourselves." But this is, look, I think that Mayor Bloomberg deserves credit for being concerned about health. But there are lines that get drawn all the time. I mean, there are reasons to believe that if I eat this, it's going to raise my cholesterol and it's not good for me. But government always has to try to find that line.
Not if you eat it here.
From here, it's already a bracha done.
But, so do you have any advice to offer me? You've never run for mayor, have you?
No.
You'd be a good candidate.
He's not running for mayor. He's making himself important for the whole Jewish community.
Correct. You know, Munkatcher told me his advantage is he never runs for political. This is his advantage.
No, people sitting here and others, why are we making this reception for Mr. Weiner? He says, I know Mr. Weiner. Anytime we asked him for anything, he was able to
Always
do it.
there.
He was there. That's all that interests me.
I think everybody agrees that whatever Munkatcher just told, wherever we ask, special anything regarding community, and not talking just about the Yiddishkeit, he's always was there, always.
You know,
We know
Mr.
that.
Zicherman is our,
He's a shy guy. He's a shy guy.
say a few words.
I prepared some notes for you if you want.
So let me see how you're going to keep your first promise.